Hey everybody, it's your boy Dre, and it is time for the afternoon. Well, it usually the lunchtime chat, but today I had a little bit of a later start to my day. I'm feeling a lot better. I had a lot to get done today and got my errands done, and I'm home. And I wanted to go live to one, I haven't had a chance to go live today, and two, just see how people are doing. It's that time. It's that day. It's my Wednesdays. I love these little Wednesdays that I do my lives. So I'm back, feeling about 75% better. Uh, big shout out to everybody that's been asking how I was doing and what I've been doing, and just feeling a lot better. So I appreciate that. It means the world to me. So I guess let's jump into it just to kind of talk about some topics about what's going down. Dave and I are still working on a day to record. Like I said, Dave's schedule and my schedules are a little out of sync, but that's fine. We're in the process of figuring out what day's going to work for us. And when we do, we will let you guys know. And you'll see the episodes recorded back on Wednesdays. We're hoping to try to do something this weekend. I am going to try with Dave. I know it's touch and go for me because I know there's a lot of stuff going on. It's not the Super Bowl. At least I don't think so yet. I think it's next week. But we do have a bunch of stuff going on. So in our lives. So that's one. Two, I made my trip to the comic book store. Sadly, he is out of the Sesame Street Danglers, so Rory was not able to get anything today. They're still on order, and I ended up talking to the owner of the store for. If you guys don't know Rebel Base, I love when I get there, and it's like quiet, and it was pretty quiet because I got there on 1:30, and we chatted for about an hour, and I was really happy with just kind of catching up. We shot the stuff. For those of you that don't know, there's a lot of big controversy and going on with a convention that's going to be here in North Carolina. If you guys have not heard about it, it's called Mad Monster. Mad Monster is a show that goes around the U.S. And they're going to be here in Concord actually in a couple weeks. Actually, I think it's next weekend they're going to be here. And the big controversy is that they got Kevin Spacey, who many people know got in trouble in Hollywood and lost his show House of Cards due to a Harvey Weinstein kind of incident that occurred. You can Google it. I'm not going to get into it. But it leaves a lot of controversy because a lot of people here don't like what he did, don't appreciate what he's done. And it's kind of a big mix of bad feelings and not so good feelings, and it's an odd situation to be in, and especially for North Carolina that we don't get a whole lot of celebrities to come through, and when we do, it's a lot of fun. We enjoy it, but you know, it's with big conventions get to land someone like a Kevin Spacey is pretty big, and I was surprised that um I wasn't surprised by the controversy. I was surprised at how long it took for the controversy to get as big as it was. So for those of you that don't know, he was announced last week that he was going to be here. Within a day, it was like all over social media. It blew up. He then puts a video out talking about that he's going to be there at the show. And then everybody here in the local media in North Carolina, mostly the Charlotte area, there's been a lot of negativity around the convention, people protesting about going, and so much. It is what it is. It's something I thought about in case you guys were interested, and wanted to know about it. I will be filming my comic chats episode after this, so I'm not going to go into my whole haul, but I do have a little bit of a haul, and I want to show off two books that not right now I want to talk about them because I feel like it's relevant to what I want to mention. So give me a second to look through my bag of goodies. So here's okay. So as we all know, rapidly approaching is Black History Month, and as a social studies, a former social studies teacher, and I'm going to still be one the rest of my life. It's who I am, and it's what I love. Um, Black History Month is very much a part of my life, as is when we have Hispanic Heritage Month, and when we have these awarenesses for superheroes of color. As we all know, my favorite superhero is Miles Morales, Spider Man, because he, much like myself, is mixed Latino and Afro American. And I love the fact of that combination for Spider Man. He's my favorite. So DC does this every year, and I've bought them every year since they've done this. So for the last, I would say at least 5, 6 years, I own these books. My wife has a copy. I usually buy two copies when we were in the classroom. So she had a classroom set and I had a classroom set. But now that I don't teach in the classroom. I just buy one set of the Marvel and the DC, and then I just hand them to her, and then she gives them to me at the end of the school year, or holds them for the next school year. But this is the what they call the DC Power 2024, and this is one of the regular covers. This is not the variant cover. When I went, it was sold out um, of the variants, but obviously this is a great cover of showing the various superheroes of color. You obviously see Static Shock, you see Black Lightning, you see Wally West, the Flash. Well, not Wally West. That would be Wally West to us. That was on the CW. You see Aqualad, and I didn't look at the rest of the cover, but these are the characters you can tell off the cover. And on the back, it does the typical the Afro American color for the flag. And this is an issue that kind of spotlights different uh, African American superheroes of the DC universe. Love when they do these. It's a little bit thicker of a book. It's like a 7.99 book. Um, I think for parents of color, or even parents that are just not even parents of color, any parent can show this to their kid and get their kid interested in a superhero, and it doesn't take much. So I thought this would be something cool to show off. This is book, like I said, this is the 2024 edition. It just got released today. I actually thought these were releasing next week, so it was kind of a cool thing. And then usually they don't release the same time, but this time, fortunately for me, they did. They released the Marvel book, which is this one they do a little bit more frequently, and they do it for all their superheroes. And this one is different. I love the cover from 2 years ago. Actually, a little bit longer than that. It was actually several years ago, about 5 years ago. They did a cover where it was all the characters were in a barbershop. So you have like Luke Cage with Black Panther, T'Challa with oh god, it was Storm, Misty Knight, and several other characters were all chilling in a barbershop, and I loved it. You want to say hi to everybody because we're live? Oh well, you gotta go. All right, when you're finished. So this is the Marvel Legends. Sorry, the Marvel Voices Legends issue number one. Now this is what they just do for instead of it calling it 2024. It's just this is the alternate cover for the book. This is the new outfitted Black Panther for the current run that people are reading, which is up to issue number 9. It's a solid book, great read. And we're going to be getting the ultimate book next week, which you need to be picking up. That's going to be a fire book. But yeah, this is the other book to read. And I think, like I said, anybody that's interested in characters of color and are interested in just learning more about these characters that are not always spotlighted, check this out. Two very good books. I think this Voices book is $5.99. Yeah, this is a $5.99 book, and this is $7.99. So you're going to be spending close to $20, but you're getting a thicker book from DC. Marvel, it's not a regular. It's just a regular 48 pager. This is about like a 96 pager, maybe a little bit more, but well worth it for if you're interested. And these are the two books. Oh, part of the haul. These are for my wife though. So I will go into my haul when I film the episode for Comic Chats. But I did also have a pickup. And the pickup this week is probably by far one of the best figures, most anticipated when I saw the pre-order. And I was like super hyped for this figure. And still hyped for just cracking it open. It is the SH Figuarts 50th anniversary Bruce Lee special edition. This figure is fire. Big shout out to Andrew Yen of Toyco. Hooked the brother up. Totally forgot I pre-ordered it with them. Hits me up. It's like, hey, your Bruce Lee shipping in a week. I was like, what? And go figure, the base is fire. It's a circle base. Now, for those of you that don't know, hey, Cobb, SH Figuarts, when they do these limited edition runs with a little bit of a larger box, there's a good chance you get a base that has a design on it. A lot of the Kamen Rider, some of the Ultraman, some of the Godzillas, they do that. This is one that does it, and when I will do a full-on review of this figure when I get to unbox them later this week. But yeah, this is a fire. If you guys can find this, it's not even, I'll put it to you this way. I have not seen it. It's not even listed on the Tamashii web shop, which I was pretty surprised about because usually they do. Yes, my love. Papa said later. Go ahead. So this is definitely a grab if you can get this. I've talked about Mafex. Let's talk about the news of wrestling because I will go back to toys for a second, but I will mention some wrestling news before I get back to some toy news. CM Punk's injured, torn tricep, out 6 months. Estimated he'll be back in time for SummerSlam. WrestleMania main event with Seth Rollins not happening. Possible program with Drew McIntyre. All the wrestling websites and pundits are talking about it. It's huge. We'll see what's going to happen. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, that WWE has the huge Netflix deal that starts in January of 2025. So that's going to be a big thing. We also have 2 shows in February. We have the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event, which is going to be in Perth, Australia. And then they're going to go to Riyadh, which is in the Middle East. So then we have, I think, no show for March. And then we have Mania April 1st, that first week of April. So just something for y'all to think about if you're wrestling fans. I am in the process of working on a Wrestling Solid show. Dave and I are going to talk about it because Dave wants to come on. He's been recently, I brought him back into the fold of wrestling, and I want to kind of just pick his brain. I love someone that's new, that doesn't really know a whole lot, but still loves wrestling and has got a passion for it. So we're going to talk. Now, back to some toy news. There is a lot in the world of toys that we are not talking about. I was talking today to the owner of Rebel Base, and while chatting with him, it's interesting to hear from a owner's perspective and hearing it from mine as a consumer why we're not seeing things hit stores. We talked about this yesterday, and it's interesting because the conversation we had yesterday, I mentioned it to him and it just blew up today. And it was so cool to have that conversation and be like, why as a retail owner, how hard is it for you to get product in that could be really fire? And he was explaining to me like, Hasbro's putting limitations on certain box runs. So like the Void figure, which is the Namorita, Princess Power, the reissued Vision. I forgot the other characters that are in that wave. Crystar is the one I want, and the Power Princess. Those are the 2 figures I want from that wave. But Both are sold out on Hasbro Pulse. Entertainment Earth can go kick rocks. And Big Bad Toys is sold out on them until I'm waiting for them to do hopefully a restock. But if they don't, eventually I'm going to have to go to the aftermarket and try to get these figures. So, which sucks because retail establishments aren't going to carry them. Why? Why are retail establishments not going to carry these figures? Well, I'm going to get a lot of hate from this, and I don't really give a shit if I get the hate for it. But people saying we're going to wait till there's Ross, we're going to wait till there's Burlington, you screw over the Walmarts, the Targets, and for right now, the Best Buys and the GameStops, until those are no longer brick and mortar, and there's no reason. And then Hasbro says, well, we'll only ship off of our website and the specialty shops. So luckily, I have more than one specialty shop, but even when I've called around, they don't have those figures in stock. Or if they do, they've marked it up egregiously to the point that I'm losing. I'm the loser on the end of it. I'm willing to pay a $5 markup on a figure if I could go home with it that same minute. Like I go, you got my figure? Great. I'm going to buy it. $5 markup, no problem. But when a figure is marked up almost 60%, kick rocks. $25 figure is not worth it. I'll wait for that figure to come out from Mafex, SH Figuarts, 5K, Ramen Toys, that new company that just been putting out some fire. I forgot the name of the company. The one that put out the Veteran William, Master Wang, that company. I can go down the list of independent production companies. Make that figure and another. I'll pay $50, $60 for that. I'm not paying $50, $60 for a piece of plastic with a couple extra accessories. Hell no. For a figure that had 3 3/4 when I was a little kid. No, thank you. And what I've noticed is that we're okay, and we bitch and moan, kvetch, and I've seen this, and I'm just like, why are people complaining? There are so many people that go online and argue and say, "Oh, well, you guys that hate on the Ross videos, it's a trend. You wanted to get in the algorithm, so you went to Ross, and then you hunted there. Good for you. I don't care. You and the 5 million other people that are doing it, you're not different. You know, to me, I've reached a point, and I think many others have too. If you're not going to buy it retail, you know, look at where the trends have gone. Bigger YouTubers that used to be around, Big Dub, Seth, OG Geek, Josh Penn, Cincy Nerd, none of the Retro Channel. Big channels that are got great followings have shifted their focuses. You know, about Cincy Nerd was one of the big ones that I like watching because he's very down to earth. He tells you what he collects. He does vintage. He does modern. He does a lot of different things, which I love. He sort of reminds me a lot like how I used to be a few years ago, and kind of where I'm at now, where like I've regulated out to knowing what I want. But he collects really good stuff and doesn't brag about it. It's not braggadocious, you know, but puts out quality content. How many YouTubers are just cranking out because they want to stay in the algorithm and stay relevant? Screw relevancy. People like you, they'll watch you no matter what you do. You know, well, let me rephrase that. They'll watch you until you do something that makes you not want to be canceled. You know, but that's literally what it comes down to, in my opinion. You know, and people can argue with me, people can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm going to use an example. Cobweb Collector, my boy Jacob. I love this dude. Great friend of the channel, great supporter, just a great all around dude in the community. Love watching his videos. They're informative. He shows great quality stuff. I know what he's into, and I enjoy what I see. You definitely should check out his channel and should subscribe to him. Rolando. Rolando has been the guy that we all say is the guy in the chair for everybody. He is like amazing. Love watching his content. His videos are funny and they're great because he's going there toy hunting. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. We support him. Definitely should support him as well. I'm noticing that there's less of a desire for people to do that sort of stuff, and there's more of the let's bitch, let's moan, let's. And I'm not trying to do that, like because guys like Rocco the Great, who I used to follow, and because he was big into SH Figuarts, big into like Daiso. For those of you that don't know Daiso, Daiso is like an import company that's from China or out of Taiwan. You know, I know who is that guy? That guy Cobb. He sounds pretty awesome. Um, but Daiso put out. They used to do out Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. Like they would do reissues of them, and they weren't the best quality. Like honestly, so and I know I've gotten flack for this in other communities. I've said this, and I'm not trying to insult anybody on what they collect. Obviously, you collect what's within your means and what you're able to afford. I hate watching YouTubers, and I've stopped it. I've stopped it because it would just frustrate me. You see a YouTuber, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm gonna use this figure here. This is the best figure ever. This figure was like $79.99. I got it, and now it's awesome." They do a review on it, put up the video, everybody watches it, they get all the views. And then like 2 weeks later, you see them on social media. Hey, figure for sale out of box collectors, $79.99. You can get it right here. Like, stop buying toys you don't want. Stop buying things that aren't or you just buying shit to buy. It's not a fucking commercial. You're not an infomercial. You're not QVC. No offense. These figures sell themselves. We know where to go. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there are bigger channels like Shartimus and Fwoosh and Pixel Dan that if I really want to see a commercial for an action figure, I can go there. Even D Amazing, as good as he is, they're commercials. I could go watch their stuff and see a commercial for toys. I care more about the person. I watch the people I watch and support the people I support because I feel for you. Hey, look at that. Look, when I say that, look who pops in. It's my brother who's 3 hours south of me, Cole Bane Games. Y'all, listen, I'm going to say this very truthfully. If you guys are not watching his streams, what the hell are you doing? He is a great YouTuber, cares about the community, loves the people that he games with, really is active and is supportive of the little guy to the big guy. Y'all need to be checking him out when he does his streams on Mondays and on Fridays. I do know he streams on other days of the week, but I am on the Friday streams with Dave. And it's always fun to watch us when we're on Fridays for Fortnite. But yeah, you do see your buddy. Hey, Peanut, come here. You want to say hi to Aaron? She's in a mood. Yes, I already heard you. Jeez, I bought her apple slices. She had like a whole half an apple already, and now she wants more. So I told her she got to wait. But yeah, she loves you. Say she sends her love to Jen too, even though she's being moody blues. All right, can you give a high five? Oh, she gave a crisp high five. And that's, folks, that's how you know when I talk about people that I love. Like, Aaron is my friend in real life. Like, he exists outside of YouTube, is a friend to my family. His wife is a friend to my family. They are family to us. Love them. Aaron, exactly. Let's go. Yeah, you talk, let's go. She's excited because she's getting so she's not only, this little girl is going to be 4 years old this year. And before she turns 4, she's going to get to go to her first ever WWE live event in SmackDown next Friday, the 9th of February, with me and Lana. She gets her first ever wrestling t shirt, which should be here this week or Monday of next. And Lana and I also got t shirts for SmackDown with wrestlers that are on the show. And I'll be filming that. Like, I'm not going to film the show, but I'll be taking pictures and stuff, and I'll be posting it all over IG and Facebook. So if you follow me on the socials, definitely check those pictures out. Um, she is, and there is, like I said, I am very fortunate that my friend's sister, or should say my friend who is or brother, is a WWE superstar, and we're gonna get to meet him this coming Friday, the 9th. I am super stoked. The girls are gonna get to meet him. Probably get to meet maybe a couple other stars. Got our fingers crossed. We're not gonna get to meet like guys like Roman or anything like that, but you never know. We might get to meet somebody famous. I can't say. I'm excited. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Mirage, it's good to see you. But yeah, but getting to really have that conversation about something that Dave's gonna hate on me for, and I love you, Dave. I know you're gonna catch this on the replay and say something. I hate Super 7. I love you, Dave, and you're my brother, but I absolutely hate Super 7. And today, me and Troy talked about it, and we were laughing because, again, hearing it from a retailer's perspective, Super 7 does not make them money. It costs a lot. The figures sit, and then they devalue to the point that you can get them like people were grabbing, what was it, at Walmart, those Cobra bets that were done by Super 7 for $10. A $50 figure that was $10 at a Walmart. So think of the mom and pop retailer that bought like 6 of those to try to sell at 50 at whatever they get their value at from their distributor. That's crazy. They don't, but here's where my friend Troy and I agree. The Super 7 Godzilla figures look amazing, and they are the competition in price to the SH Monster Arts Godzilla figures, Kong figures. The only company that is literally competing against Bandai Namco, SH Figure Arts, the Tamashi, guess who? Hiya Toys. Hiya Toys put out Godzilla, put out Kong, same scale, same detail, $50. Super 7, those Godzilla figures are like $80. Hiya Toys, $49.99. Like, come on, folks. That's easy math. If you're telling me that I could get the same toy for $50 and Haya's putting out bangers, like let's be real. Haya's put out banger figures. They have right now. We have the Hiya Toys Rambo. We got the Hiya Toys RoboCop coming out. We have a Hiya Toys, and they're 1/12 scale, not 1/18. So, oh, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat scroll. See, resume building one of my kits. Speaking of which, I do have a kit that I need to build, and and it's the one that Cole Bain gave me that he bought for me, and I did not forget it. I just literally need to make time to build it, so I will finally get to that. Because I really do want to build that figure because it looks awesome. It's the Kamen Rider uh Joker. Oh god, it's the Joker in the white version. I forgot what the white was called. So it's a black and white Kamen Rider Double. For the Americans, W. I got to build that figure. Um, because I've seen the retail and they don't look like they're going to reissue it, even though I have the Drive, the Kamen Rider Drive figure. Wait, did I show everybody? I don't know if I did show this. Maybe I didn't, or maybe I did. I don't know if I showed you guys. I got the 2099, the Spider-Man 2099. Love that figure. Fang Joker, thank you. Yeah, Ultraman Blazer. Blazer just came out. SH Figuarts. Actually, no, they just hit me for my pre-order. One of these days, folks, I'm gonna get Kate. I'm gonna get Cole Big Games to come on one of these. Like I don't know, like we're gonna chat and we're gonna talk about building because I've been wanting to pick his brain about what got him into it. Because actually, one of the SH Figure counterpart books sold out. Yeah, I ended up doing the pre-order for Blazer. Like I think it was through Big Bad, and they hit me with the pre-order. I think it was today. And let me see, because it dinged. I know it dinged my bank account. Let me see. It's funny when I see it. It's like, oh, yeah, he. I don't know. No, that was. Yeah, it is. It is Blazer. It is Blazer. They dinged me today for him. Well, see, that's what stinks because I work Tuesdays, I work Thursdays, and I work Sundays. So, but we will figure something out to try to record on a Sunday, maybe early, like Dave and I've talked about doing. So I can maybe sneak in on one of those because, like, Dave and I are going to do a couple of. We're going to try to film a few, like, try to maybe do 2 episodes a week to get them prepared for you guys until we can hit, like I said, a stride. But, or if on the free chance that I'm off on a Thursday, like if I'm sick, like now, or if I take the day off, which is usually rare because I enjoy working. So, and I hate using my time off like for just BS. And it's not saying this is BS. I just don't like taking the time off. But yeah, I think the Blazar just came in. And for those of you that don't know, you guys, yeah, we definitely we got this. We got this. But so does anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm talking and I'm starting to get coughing here. Anybody got any questions for me? Anybody have anything you want to ask? Any, you know, please feel free. I feel like I talk a whole lot, but then nobody wants to ask me anything. And for those of you that are wondering, I'm on Big Bad's website because I want to see a picture of this figure. Because I forgot what Blazer looked like. Oh, it's not. It's the kaiju. It's the kaiju figure, which still looks pretty badass though. Like I ain't gonna lie, I might get this figure. I might not cancel it. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys so you can see it in the chat. Also posing currently with my SH Kuwagata Ozier. Nice. I've seen the okay. So those of you that don't know, uh, Ozier is the new Super Sentai show in Japan right now, and it's kind of very Attack on Titan meets Power Rangers. It's a very cool ass show. It's like I think it's up to episode 44, 45, if I remember correctly. and it's very cool. Like each kingdom has their own Zord, and they the Red Ranger was like not supposed to be the Red Ranger, and he stole the kingdom from like his like adopted brother. It's a very deep, like people think, oh, Power Rangers here in America is awesome. It's not. It's cool, and I get the following, and I probably get hate for that too. Comment below if you guys want to hate me for it. It is what it is. But the Japanese version is way better. It's going to keep it a buck. Yeah, I mean, even the like here, I'm going to use him as an example because he's on my desk. Zen Kaiser, which did not get more figures, which it should have. It's a little like plastic cape, but it still does what I need it to. If I want to, I could always like complain, but it doesn't figure arts. They did a damn good job on this figure, And Zenkaiger was a good show. People slept on it, but yeah, I did throw in the chat for you guys to see what the figure that I was looking at that I pre-ordered. It's the Kaiju. You know, it's a good figure, and I would tell you now, Mirage, grab him while he's cheap because I have a feeling it was the one show that I was really surprised that Japan did not capitalize on the fact that the other Rangers were robots, like alive, like basically like animated robot characters. They were aliens from other dimensions. I would have loved seeing SH figure arts of them, but I get why they didn't do that because that would have been counterproductive to the Zords they could have used, and the fact that they could have just used the coins to make themselves other Rangers. Wow. So I'm over here discussing with someone about AI being used on YouTube. They don't accept that as original content and put it towards watch hours and such. Do that? Yeah, I've seen that actually. My wife and I actually just talked about this the other day about how more and more people are using Chat GPT and AI to help write these shows and these ideas, and they're claiming it as their own content. We were just talking about that with students and saying how students are doing this and claiming it as their own. And it's ridiculous, but people are doing it for the watch hours, and I feel it's dumb. I know a friend of mine, she did this as a thought experiment, which I thought was really cool. She's a writer, and she went into Chat GPT and was like, gave it a very bare bones set of parameters for like a 10-minute long script. And she read it and she's like, damn. She's like, I would totally have written this similarly, but it's you could there's no life behind it. And I feel like we're more and more seeing that occur, and that's what's ruining creativity. Another question was, are there any SH figure arts that I am looking forward to? Hell yes, there are. There's several. The Minato re-release from Naruto, because we are finally getting because he was a Tamashii web exclusive, and so was Jiraiya. And I just saw Jiraiya go up on Bandai's website again for pre-order for March or April of this year, and I did Minato. I did the Sakura from Naruto as well because I think that axe that she comes with looks awesome. I already have a Naruto. I have Sasuke. I got Kakashi, and I'm gonna have Minato. I'm gonna need Jiraiya eventually. Um, his price is a little still too steep for my personal likes. I am looking forward to them releasing the Spider-Man Noir from Across the Spider Verse. I did hear SA Figure Arts has that coming out. Um, there's a lot. I'm I'm looking forward to some of the Rangers and more of the Riders. Gotchard is one of the figures I'm very much looking forward to as a pre-order. I already have his base, the base art, the base state figure. So I'm waiting to see the other ones. And I'm hoping that they eventually do the movie of Gates of the Nine Tail Fox version. Those are some of the ones I'm worried about. I expect the next King Osier figure to only be the Spider Kunos because they don't release the full team. Yeah, they really don't, because it was Red Ogier, and that was it. And he's the only one. You can get him on Amazon for like $50, so that's still not bad. What I'm talking about is a video uses AI artwork pics. Don't think that should be considered original. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misconstrued what you wrote. Um, no, I think that, and this has been the issue that the SAG people had. What's considered your own and what's considered original. And is something computer generated that scours the internet to piece this idea together. Is that considered original? That's an argument and a debate that maybe Dave and I should do, because Dave does tech talk. Something to consider. And Mano, I know I feel the same way you do with all those emojis, coughing, sneezing, and, well, not puking, but so I still remember getting 001 SH figure arts recently during an Ichiban Kuji event, getting a very great SH for $20. Now you got that's the great selection, the best selection version, 01, not this one, not the because Dave got me the New York Comic Con exclusive. He's here on my desk. I love that figure. Big shout out to Dave for picking this up for me. Like, it was the one thing I wanted, the Ultraman, but he got me 01. This figure is dope. Like, for those of you that are not into comics, even if you're a Cosmic Legions fan, these would be great figures to pose. They scale very well with a Cosmic Legion. I don't have a Cosmic Legion anymore, but they do scale well with them. And you'd be able to have some awesome looking. There's a lot more posability and accessibility with this figure than others. So yes, this is a dope fig. So, oh, I'm sorry, that's a cable that was sitting up in front of you guys. The green is translucent on mine. Technically, it was 40 since I draw 2 tickets, but fair enough nonetheless. I love it. Yeah. Oh, so you got I know which one I know the version you got. That was, I think yours was the best selection version, which is not. It's still, like, I never say cheap, but it's the affordable version, because I know that that was like a 60 something dollar event exclusive, which I think is pretty much probably the same one you could have ended up getting, or like slightly a slight variant, because yours is translucent and mine isn't. Um, a big shout out to Dave's. Big shout out to Dave. Yeah, that isn't that thing. So, but yeah, for anybody that's like interested, there's a lot of great stuff. I know Dave and I've talked about it. We're planning it. It's going to be on both our channels. Like, we'll probably simulcast the video. I'm going to edit the video and we'll simulcast it on both our channels. Or it'll release on both our channels, to say, because it won't be alive. But Dave and I are going to go toe to toe about which import or higher end collectible figure is better, Super 7 or SH Figuarts. Dave was about to go down the rabbit hole with SH Figuarts, and then he jumped on Super 7. I have stayed away from Super 7 since Thundercats and the wrestling figures I did several years ago, because I bought all the New Japan wrestlers. I bought the Zack Ryder. I bought the Bullet Club figures, and I had the Tetsuya Naito, the Okada, the Ospreys, the Tanahashi. I had Zack Ryder, Brian Myers, and I got rid of them all. And I didn't regret a single one. Now, Those are Super 7. And then I had the Thundercats. Great looking figures for shelf presence. They have a beautiful shelf presence. But the figures themselves, poor articulation, not a good, not the best of amount of good amount of accessories, but I'll say it best. When you charge $70 for Snarf that doesn't articulate, I will say that again. A Snarf figure that's about 4 or 5 inches tall that does not articulate and it comes with like 4 accessories. A figure you could have packaged with Lion-O version 2. I was done. Like I was done. The Mumra figure became a pain in the ass to try to find too. I can go down the whole list and I'll save that. But were there any other questions, comments, queries? I'm waiting to see if I hear anything. Because if you guys pay attention, there are little tidbits to knowing what kind of things you with the way the trend in collecting is moving. Oh yeah, Figma and SH Figs, they're killing it. Like I'm Figma hasn't really had me unless you're into like the Legend of the Shield Hero or any of the like big anime. But if you're into SH Figure Arts, they're doing a lot of great stuff too. Ooh, you got some good choices there, man. Rising Hopper was a good figure. It's a very beautiful figure. It's funny. I even asked my wife for Valentine's Day. It was a lot of people don't realize like when you got kids, you don't really like to ask for a whole lot because your kids usually control what we spend our money on. And I decided to keep it small because I'm gonna do something big for my family. And my wife, I got her Valentine's Day gift already. Both her gifts came already. I got the girls already done. And my wife's like, well, what would you like? I said, well, I want a game for my PlayStation. That's it. And she was like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. I don't want anything. Give me half the money for it. $30. I'm good. And I'm blessed that she's gonna do that for me. I'm not gonna tell you all the game yet, but I will tell you this: Skull and Bones. I'll be playing it next week, Saturday on the 10th. Probably before I go live with Phil, with Yukon Phil, and then probably afterwards. King of the Fighters. Oh God, that's. I did, but I don't collect Mythic Legions, bro. I've actually left all those communities. I had kept the friends. The friends I like. Friends are good people. The the toys, not so much. I had you tapped out my dude. You tapped me out of my most of my things. You bought most of them. I sold some, and now it's like I've traded. I traded in my last 4 Mythic Legions I had. I traded in my last 3 Cosmics. Well, the only 3 Cosmics I had with the accessory packs and everything. And then I traded in a bunch of other figures just so I could work towards my hot toy. And I got to see Skull and Crossbones or Skull and Bones. And you're right, that Demon Souls figure is fire. That Figma is only $40. That Figma is $40, the same price as a Mythic Legion's Knight. And it's way better for articulation. Now, mind you, the customization of Mythic Legions, I could argue. I think they're freaking amazing for that. But that Demon Souls figure is dope. And the other game, okay, I will say, because you guys are asking. The other game I want that my wife's gonna help me get is because I bought Skull and Bones. That was what I wanted. I paid for that one. It's the Ronin. For anybody that knows, I love Japanese culture. You know, you know, Senshin. That's what I carry on my body, warrior. So Ronin obviously means a masterless samurai, and it takes place during a time when Europe was invading Japan. It feels like from what I've seen in the game, it looks very Tenchu meets very Dynasty Warriors. So Assassin's Creed, I was like, all right, you sold me. Japanese culture, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna buy it. So that's the other thing too. I wish I wish for me, my son lived closer because he would collect those things. He likes, well, he plays Yu-Gi-Oh and that sort of stuff and enjoys all that. But look at the Tomikas; those cards are dope. And I mean, that's like that. I mean, that's the Matchbox of Japan, And there's some dope ass vehicles that they put out, exclusives that are just as good as Hot Wheels, you know. And I've seen them jump. I know a lot of American collectors that collect Hot Wheels collect those. So, and that's something that I could never get into. Like I would probably do it with my son or my daughters if they were into it. But yeah, I got enough black holes. Hey, so that means I get my Craven. I'm kidding. If I don't get the Craven, I understand, brother. I thought I just think it's funny because I was gonna get into a pool too for WrestleMania, and I couldn't because all the matches are now totally changed because of injuries. So, anybody got any questions, any things before I get into my closing thoughts and kind of what's going to be expected for the rest of the day and the week? That's cool. I think that's what a lot of people have been doing more and more lately. They'll pick up something because they like what it looks like, and I kind of do that with comic books. If there is like everybody knows that I read all the Spider books, and I cherry pick some DC books and independent books have to grab me. There's something that's gonna grab me. The art, the story, something. And if it does, I'll pick it up. Hey Joseph, good to see you, brother. Yo, Mirage, if you could find me Evo 3, an Evo 3, the Lancer Evo 3 in white with the cobalt blue stripe, if you can find me one of those, we will talk. I would love to have one of those on my desk. Speaking of which, I will make a closing thought that I will laugh at. I have avoided Funko Pop for years. Thank you. I appreciate you, Mirage. I have avoided Funko because my wife asked me, stop buying me Funko Pops, stop buying the girls Funko Pops. I've gotten out of them years ago. We always call that the gateway drug to collecting. See, dude, I would love to be having Evo. Like that's my dream car. Like a lot of people laugh. That is my dream car in Evo. The Lancer Evo 3 or 7. Those are my dream cars. I played Initial D. I love them. My uncle, actually my godfather had one. He had a Lancer Evo 3, and then he lived in Queens in New York, and there's a huge racing scene that was there. And he went to an auto auction, a police auction, and he got one for like 3 or 4 grand, tricked out with all the lights. I was like, oh. He drove it to my house, and I was like, deal. I want to buy this from you. I'll give you I'll give you the 3K. He's like, no, I need it for the girls. Then he sold the car. I was like, like ah. But I definitely would have bought that car from him. That's like my dream car. Oh, the Hachiroku? You a Hachiroku fan? See, look at that. That's how you know Initial D right up in the house, folks. Initial D ruined us. Oh, that stinks. Um, Joseph, I do not. My Funko Pops. So there is. I've gotten rid of. I got rid of them all. The only ones that we have are the ones that are my wife's, which are all the Stitch, some Target exclusive book ones, the Target exclusive Captain Marvel, um, I'm trying to think, and the ones that the girls have, which are various different franchises, but I don't collect any. There is one though, the Godzilla one from Godzilla X Kong. I kind of want that one. It's an Amazon exclusive. I'm waiting for Amazon to put it up. I might pre-order it. Yeah, it's no offense to you, Joseph. It's just we hit a spot, and I'm gonna be very blunt. I hit a spot where we needed money for Rory was born, and I unloaded a lot of the collection, and I got really good money, and it was for my baby. When she was coming. So COVID was a very crazy time, and we were very tight on funds. You know, so I I had debt to pay, and a baby on the way, and we just didn't have the money. So I went to what I had and got rid of a lot. I mean, there's a lot of pieces I got rid of that I'll never get back, and I don't feel bad because it's stuff. I have the friendship with you, which matters more to me than just an item. So but that's lets you know that I appreciate you as a person more than just a pop. So, and I hope you understand from the bottom of my heart. Like if you sent me like something now, I would keep it. Like I'm not a Funko Pop. Please don't send me pops. Don't. Like I love you. Don't send me pops. You send me like a T-shirt. You send me like a hat. You send me like comics and stuff like that. We can talk. But no, if I'm the wife will kill me. The wife will kill me. Ooh, gee, dang, man, Mirage, you killing me. You ain't rich. That's funny. But it is reaching an hour, and I stood about the hour I wanted to. I appreciate you guys for coming in and spending this time with me. I do need to take care of the baby for a little bit. Then I'm gonna jump back on, and I got to feed. I got to do my video for comics, the comic chats, and edit that one and try to get that one up tonight because I want to try to play some Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends tonight. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are so awesome. I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everything you guys do for the channel, for myself, and for my family. If you guys don't realize it, thank you. As always, my friends. Stay geeky, y'all. Peace.